What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, managing editor of Fightful.com here. It is October 16th. We have Monday Night Raw to talk about. A lot of, I don't know if, well, some news, some bickering, some beefing going back and forth. Plenty to talk about on tonight's show. If you all haven't been to Fightful.com, head over there. We got all your latest news, exclusives, interviews, photos, videos, podcasts. We have forums all the way across sports and entertainment. Today we did a story about Triple H on Kenny Dykstra talking his indie work since returning to WWE and how that's helped his bookings. We have a ton of new UFC stories. James Lynch, one of our new signings, has been getting us interviews left and right. Showdown Joe has a column looking at MMA super fights on the horizon. And also David Tease this weekend did Ring of Honor Global Wars coverage for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm talking like a ton of exclusives over at Fightful. Plenty of things that you all haven't seen before every day when you go visit Fightful.com and that you can't get anywhere else besides Fightful.com. I am joined by the Alex, formerly known as associate editor, Alex Pawlowski.
Yes.
Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm enjoying my status as lazy part-timer because if you're a part-timer, you have to be lazy in the wrestling biz. But yeah, no, I'm doing well. Weekend was fraught with stuff, but hitting the ground running on a new week and a new Raw. Go home, baby. With drums, with all kinds of drums.
Oh yeah, plenty of drums this weekend as well. As you all saw, by the way, guys, not drums, but we did hire a new associate editor, Brian, who has spent a lot of time at Wrestling Observer. Very glad to have him on. His first full day was today. So you all can contact him over on Twitter. I'll get you his handle right quick. But he will also be active in our forums, our comment section, all that good stuff. But a good experienced dude, West Coast guy. So definitely welcome him to Fightful.com. And like I said, use those forums. We're always doing contests, things like that. Monday Night Raw. We're going to save the non-Raw stuff towards the end of the show, I think. I think that's best because there's plenty of it. The Shield is back with their old gear and music.
Yep.
What'd you think of this, Alex? There were some that speculated maybe because of the T-shirt, it had their individualized gloves and all that, they wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
But they did, and Dean Ambrose's doesn't fit very well.
Nope, it doesn't. Neither does Seth Rollins. All those buckles and everything with the straps, there's way too much flare out from the straps because everything's too small. So he just had to cinch it, and he's got the little straps flat. It was sad to me. Like, not only are you guys going to reunite, which is totally fine, but the fact that you can't reunite without going back to doing the exact same thing that you were doing before, it's kind of, come on. Like, it's been 3 years. Like, you still have the SWAT uniforms just hanging out, like pulling out of storage. It was odd.
I thought they needed people doing their own thing.
Yeah. I don't
know
know.
What one of the guys said? Guy?
They did. It felt like a decision to be like, hey, you remember these guys, right? And if you don't, we're going to give you all the hints until you do remember them. And then you'll start cheering Roman. And as we found out later, that didn't work too well. But people love these guys as a trio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. By the way, guys, you all can follow Brian Rose, our new associate editor, at BR26 on Twitter. Go do that for sure. Here's to hoping Reigns can have an overhaul after this. Like, I don't care if they put him in Jesus's old, like, suspenders and beater and orange pants. Whatever, just something different. They challenge all four of their TLC opponents, but Kurt Angle prevents it. They all come out. Kurt says, this isn't happening. If you all want your matches the way that they're supposed to be constructed, then you're gonna back off. harmless and effective opening segment, but yeah, there wasn't a lot to this. Just pretty simple. They just wanted to come out and get the crowd hot. That's really it. We're going to start rating some of these segments, too, on the ratings that I put out after Raw, SmackDown, and the show and the pay-per-views, because some of them I really want to give like 2.0s to. This wasn't one of them, but there's some, like I had a request to do this. So I was like, you know what? I'll start giving ratings to promos. Why not? Titus Worldwide and Jason Jordan defeated Elias and the Good Brothers. I tell you what, if I could give this pre-match promo a rating, it'd be a solid 7, because Elias and the Good Brothers have some really great chemistry, Alex.
They absolutely do. These are 3 guys who are nominally heels, but have gotten over with the smart crowd, with the people who like to be ironic. I appreciate good performances, whether or not I'm supposed to boo them. And I love these guys. These guys are so excellent at what they do. Elias is just great. He improves every week, including his guitar playing. Like, I remember when he was first starting that gimmick out in NXT, it was rough. But now, like, he's getting much better. And you cannot tell me that the Tweener Good Brothers are not one of the best, most fun acts on the show. I mean, Carl Anderson went out there and did a full-on cover of the Honky Tonk Man's theme song. These guys are great. I'm not going to boo them because they're great. I'm sorry. They're fun, and I like them a lot. The 3 of them together is totally – if WWE had a trios division, had a 6-man tag championship division, I would absolutely see these guys as a top contender for that belt.
They sing a song about Jason Jordan being a nerd. I enjoyed it. They also sang the Honky Tonk Man's theme. Like, Elias is just so good at the little things, like commanding the crowd, and he's just really, really good at it. I've become a fan of Elias. Michael Cole puts over that a female IndyCar driver joined Titus Worldwide. I thought that was a pretty cool thing for him to do, like, to be aware of, to do that, like, that it's not just within wrestling. Titus is getting people from outside of wrestling, Alex.
Yeah, he's gotten a few football team mascots as well. So, Titus casts a wide net over everything to get them onto the Titus brand. I thought it was cool. Pretty much every week now, you'll be able to see some kind of Fallout video with him recruiting somebody who was at the show that particular night. So, yeah, I think Titus is really making lemonade with the lemons. You know what I mean? Like, the Titus Worldwide thing is way bigger than I think anybody ever thought it was supposed to be. And him and Cruz are great together. And honestly, I like Jason Jordan as being as a part of this thing too. Like,
is Tozawa even still in it?
I haven't seen him as part of that. I mean, here's the thing. Tozawa got beat down last week on 205 Live, and his boys were nowhere to be seen, and they didn't mention it this week on Raw.
Well, I mean, Cruz isn't, like, hanging out at 205 Live. Why the hell is he there?
No. But I'm just saying, like, there was no mention of it. Like, they could have shown him backstage with his, because he got Drew Gulak's signpost that says "No chance." He got that right in his throat.
Yeah.
Which apparently is going to stop him from doing his chant, or at least for the time being. That's a major story over on 205 Live. But yeah, I don't know. It does seem like he's the odd man out at this point. But this match was fine. Some mid-card fun to start off your night.
Yeah, I'm wondering how this Elias Titus Worldwide thing is still a feud, because Elias always beats them. Like, it's borderline stalking at this point. But then right after, Apollo beat Carl Anderson, so I'll just shut up now.
Right.
Backstage, Alexa Bliss asks Emma to team with her against Mickey and whatever partner she can find. This begs the question, why isn't Alexa teaming with Nia Jax? Aren't they buddies again?
Well, yes, they should be. But, however, Emma has a match on the pay-per-view, and so you have to get her on the show at some point doing that. I agree, but Nia isn't a part of the show this Sundays, and Emma is, and that's the idea. But yes, don't retcon their breakup to get them to be friends again and then not include it the next week. It just, again, it just comes down to, you know, laziness and in your storytelling. It's easy to talk about, and they don't.
I know what'll get these cruiserweights over though: seated crossface headlocks. Rich Swann comes out to even the odds of Cedric Alexander versus Jack Gallagher, who was accompanied by Brian Kendrick. They gave us a bit of a primer before this, which I hope they showed the live crowd too, but I like that. They need to do more of that.
Yeah.
Because 205 Live's numbers are way up of late, but still not a whole lot of people are watching that show. So give them a primer. Giving a primer isn't going to make people turn off Raw if you're about to do a cruiserweight segment, but it might get another set of eyes or two on 205 Live.
There's something with 205 Live I think that would be really, really good for the show as a whole is to put together like a 4-minute highlight package of every episode the following day on YouTube. Like, just get all the best things from every match, the fun promos, the big spots, and people go, wow, I might tune in next week. You know, just because, or that's the way they consume it, and you can get more revenue from that ad from that video. But I just feel like people think it's a whole time commitment. I got to watch another show. I got a life outside of watching wrestling. Say most people who watch wrestling, and you know, I totally get that. But for me, 205 Live has some of the best performers on the whole roster. And some of the most fun characters. Gulak's work as the heel politician type who wants to end flipping and kicking and jumping off of things in cruiserweight wrestling is great. And he does great work. He does guest work on commentary for other people's matches. That guy's a future excellent color commentator.
He's really good.
Life. He's really, really good.
His promo style it reminds me a little bit of EC3's, and that's a very good thing. That's a very, very good thing. Miz TV, I don't know why Cesaro was talking with his mouth guard in. Like, I get it, his teeth are still jacked up, but no. There's nothing really in the first few minutes of this. Braun is the guest, which gives us the great line, "They put me through the announcement table." Well, it is now known as the announcement table. It has a new name now. Because I heard, like, you could tell that he was like, man, I messed that one up. Then he goes, forget it. It's the announcement table now.
I think it should be everyone else can still call it whatever they want to, but he should always call it that for the rest of his career. That's just what he calls it. The other thing notably about this is that Portland, Oregon loves Curtis Axel.
Yeah, they sure do.
Has there been more stuff? Because I've been kind of out of the loop for the past few days about Bo Dallas not being around. Anything like specific?
Well, I think those lizards like abducted him, didn't they?
It's possible.
The aliens?
That's certainly a thing that's definitely possible in Bo Dallas's life. I just wondered if
you did an article on that, yeah?
Yeah. At some point.
Well, let's take a look back at history. The one that I always tout, Kelly, as it turns out, maybe Tess didn't approve that wedding from the grave because they're splitzos now, her and her husband.
Maybe it was a whole long con by the ghost of Test, because maybe once you die, you can see the future. So he was like, "Yeah, totally, marry him. It'll be great." You know what I mean? Like knowing it was
what a rib.
Oh man, that Test. I don't know.
Miz says that he's adding a fifth member to this group because the Shield said that they could beat 4 or 5. The crowd wants Curtis Axel, and he's doing the Birdman hand rub about it, like he's ready to go. Angle comes out, and he's like, no. And then Miz talks him into it. He says that if Braun beats Roman Reigns tonight, TLC becomes a 5-on-3 match. If he loses, it's back to 3-on-3. I thought this was a pretty awesome way to add stakes to a main event on a go-home show where a lot of stuff doesn't have stakes.
Yeah. Agreed. And I think that if they added 4 more guys, let's say it was 8 on 3, everyone knows somehow the Shield's going to win. Like, they're not losing.
Well,
their
they didn't
return
beat
match.
CM Punk when it was 1 on 3.
Yeah.
So,
well, yes, but that wasn't their reunion match. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird thing with stuff that you know as a smart fan that the writers are writing ahead of time, so that I don't. Yes, 5 on 3, great, wonderful. I don't. Who doesn't matter? You're going to put the ghost of Andre the Giant in there. They're still going to lose that match. You know, so it's a weird thing that I think they're making the Shield even bigger underdogs, which will make you cheer for them way harder, especially Roman, right? That the whole thing to me feels like this way of like, let's get Roman over by putting him back together with the guys you like and making them bigger underdogs, which I guess, like, I never thought of the Shield as underdogs when they were making their first run. They were badasses who stood to anybody.
Now that's how you make them underdogs, is you stack the deck. Now, everybody knows they're going to win, and everybody knows the score with Roman. Hey, you're out there with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. We like you. But individually, not so much, man.
Yeah,
let's like piss off for a little while by yourself.
Yeah.
It just, that's just the way it is. So everyone is banned from ringside for all the Shield matches tonight. Alicia Fox has shown in her inset promo complaining about not having a T-shirt, even though she got a T-shirt this week. Yeah.
It's possible she saw the shirt and disowned it.
Yeah.
That shirt doesn't exist. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it says crazy like a fox. And there's a cartoon lady fox, like being all sexy, wearing Alicia Fox's ring gear. And that's the shirt. So, hey, great. She's got merch for the second time in her 10 years. That's good. Good for her. But I don't know.
She really committed to that character.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, we'll see later how far she went in committing it.
Sure.
Oh, my God. You know what? That's the whole thing. You know what? If you're playing crazy, go to 11. Don't go to 8.5 and say that's crazy enough. Make it as crazy as possible, and she does it.
She sure does. The It's Boss timeline makes me groan. I hate that WWE does that all the time. It's so annoying. We get the usual spots in this match. A great Alicia Fox backbreaker. Bank statement out of Sasha. She wins. After the match, backstage, Sasha gets attacked. Now, after the match anyway, Sasha was marked up real good. Like, she was cut up and bruised up and busted open a little bit. Tell us a little bit about this attack backstage.
Well, it's one of the things where, okay, so we're going full on with this Alicia Fox, like psychotic heel thing, which is fun. I'm in on it. Good for Foxy getting back in the scene. Like, she had been away for so long from TV, and before that, she was just that different cruiserweights girlfriends on 205 Live. So I'm happy that she's back in the ring and wrestling, and I'm happy that she gets to do this, which she does better than anybody else. My favorite part, of course, was when the ref came in and told her to stop. So she shoved him down too, and the way he landed basically dropped an elbow on Sasha Banks, and he was like, "You can't push me. I'm the referee." And I'm pretty sure I heard Alicia Fox say, "You don't look like my dad. You can't tell me what to do." I was just like, I love you, Alicia Fox. She's so good at playing this. But the backstage brawl was brutal. Like, they were throwing Sasha Banks into road boxes left and right. Those things are hard. There's no give on those things. There's metal all over them. So I'm I'm in on this. This could be fun. Something for Sasha to do while they wait for the eventual thing that they're going to do with her and Bayley. Fingers crossed. Please, please, please.
Enzo Amore comes out in a Canadian tuxedo. He has to lamely throw to a video from last week. This should really just be shown right before the segment. like to the live crowd. I mean, make it your damn Pennzoil Slam of the Week or whatever the hell it is. Who cares? Fart noises again when Kalisto comes out. He unloads some really bad lines. Enzo just kills him on a promo, like as you would expect. Like
right.
The odds of this are like if Mike Tyson in his prime fought CM Punk straight up in a boxing match, I think that CM Punk would have better odds than Kalisto versus Enzo in a promo battle.
Yes.
Drew Gulak, Noam Dar, Arya Davari, Tony Nese all attack Kalisto. Mustafa Ali comes out to a little bit more of a reaction and cleans house for a little bit, but he doesn't really have any build leading to this. Like, over because he's jumped. So
yeah,
they're leading to this program where this guy who attacked Enzo last week in the middle of a match, then this week came down unintelligently and got his ass handed to him. I don't know. I like that's just not. That's what everybody wants to cheer. Somebody getting their ass kicked after making a dumb decision.
Right.
Also of note, another Rey Mysterio reference.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, he's little. He's Latino. He wears a mask, and therefore, he will always be compared to, even subconsciously in our minds, Rey Mysterio. You don't need to point it out 4 or 5 times a night. Like that's kind of overkill.
Does look a lot like him, but I mean,
sure.
He's a little bit bigger.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like right. There are similarities there, and they invite a comparison. You saying it over and over and over again is like, no, we get it. Yes. And for most fans who watch both, he's not going to be compared favorably in our minds to Rey, who might be the greatest ever. And he's very good. Kalisto's very good at what he does, but he's not going to be Rey Mysterio. And so you bringing up how he's kind of like Rey Mysterio, and we go,
I don't know if he ever would be Rey Mysterio or not, because they just won't let the chains off of these guys. Like,
no, that's the
you're
thing.
gonna have. Here's the thing. Like, I know it's unfortunate. It's high risk offense. You're gonna have injuries and stuff like that. And I hate to make it sound like, oh, they're disposable, because they're not. They're humans. But you ain't using like 12 of these guys.
Yeah, right.
If one does get hurt, God forbid, you can plug somebody else in.
Right.
And I think you'll be just fine. But you stand a better chance letting them go out and just pull out all the stops and do what they do, because there are things that Seth Rollins does that cruiserweights 15 years ago did. But there are still things that these cruiserweights can do now that Seth Rollins can't do, that Apollo Crews can't do, that we don't always see. There are just things that you gotta let them do their thing.
Right. The Mustafa Ali thing is that they easily could have set this up weeks ago by having him be the guy who really was against Enzo Amore coming in. Because remember, for a while, everyone was willing to let him just come in and let's see what happens. And but if he was the guy who was like, "Nah, I don't like it. And other babyfaces were like, just give him a chance. It's like, no, you'll see. I don't like this guy. And he was proven right. Then you could have that be the through line that carries along through this thing. But because everyone was just like, yeah, whatever. Thanks for coming. And then like, wait a minute, I don't like the way you're talking to us. And everyone doing the same thing. That's not a way to get anybody to stand out. You have to have individual characters along those lines. But yeah, there's the idea like that, hey, that's my friend Kalisto. I'm going to come in and save him for 12 seconds until I get jumped too. There was some cool stuff where they were alluding to the fact that because Enzo makes so much money with his merch, that he had literally paid off those 4 guys to come in and jump Kalisto.
Well, they're getting a flat fee for the video game, according to Joe Lanza. So,
it's fun.
And I get the feeling Joe Lanza's not throwing out duty info. Programming note, guys, we have a new MMA podcast on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern now with James Lynch. A little bit of a different show than that with Joe on Tuesdays. By the way, you can check out that show Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Also, this Saturday, immediately following UFC Poland, this Donald Cerrone, Darren Till fight, we're going to be talking about Gegard Musashi's Bellator debut and the UFC Poland show. And, of course, we're coming at you right after TLC on Sunday. Of course, tune in to that Wednesday List and Your Boy flagship show. It has always been always a good time. I have a poll up on my Twitter asking if you guys – like, how do you feel if we do some of the interviews without video, with video? Doesn't matter to you. Give me some feedback on that, because I got a ton of interviews where video capabilities just aren't an option, but I got a lot of really great stuff. So if you guys want to hear those on the List and Your Boy, let me know. We'll do our best to make it happen. But Fightful.com, FightfulPods.com, we got the hookup, all kinds of shows, all kinds of guests. When you tune in, we're dropping backstage information, backstage news that you won't find anywhere else. Like when me and Alex were kind of teasing everybody for about a month that Ronda Rousey was training pro wrestling. Then people caught on and I had to write the story.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, Raw Tag Team Championships, the Shield, I can officially type that into the little results now. The Shield defeated the Bar to retain the championships. Standard stuff until a really good pop-up uppercut from Sheamus and Cesaro. This was really good. The crowd gets heated up for the Ambrose tag. The match starts cooking. Nothing that really stands out for me like adding notes. Just really great tag team wrestling, honestly. Sheamus steals Alicia Fox's backbreaker. Dirty Deeds gets the win. I thought there was a lot of good fundamentals, a lot of good drama here. What'd you think of this tag match?
It's great. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, it was just, but at the same point, I was like, man, the other ones I've seen these guys wrestle were much better than this. But this is still a very good tag match. So I was watching it going, okay, so everyone else is banned from ringside. How are they going to interfere? Oh, they didn't. Oh, that's nice. You know, I was just kind of preoccupied with the rest of it, feeling it's weird to have like the tag championships on the line on Raw and have it feel like an afterthought because everyone's kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop and make this major thing happening. Maybe it would have been different had the, you know, it wouldn't be like, well, who's the fifth man going to be? It was this major thing going along through line through commentary through the night. Kind of giving away, you know, making sure everything was about that as opposed to whatever else. I did think it was funny. Have you seen the tweets between Big E and Cesaro about cease and desists?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. So Big E, somebody sent Big E a picture of like their Cheerios, their fruity Cheerios or whatever, and they got a unicorn on the box. They're obviously Bootios.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that and him asking if WWE has any cease and desists.
Right. And then Cesaro responds to that. Have you seen I think it's a Ford F-150 commercial for a truck? The actual slogan is, it doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. And I'm like, come on, you guys. Okay. But I just love that Cesaro's like, yeah, can we also get in on that if you're going to start suing people? I love the Bar, even though I hate the name. I think these guys are really, really good together, and it's one of those deals where I hated the best of 7 thing so much. I hated it even more when they were forced to be a tag team, and somehow now I really love these guys. And it's like, damn it, WWE, you played the long con on me, and now you were right. I have to admit, you were right.
Worked.
Time got worked.
WERKT. You got worked. Backstage, Kurt Axel is giving the Bar and Braun Strowman a pep talk. These 3 guys, these 4 guys, all of them were phenomenal in this backstage segment.
Yep.
They were all real good. The facial expressions, the delivery, Braun being so matter-of-fact and 80s in everything that he says is really good. Curtis Axel says he wants to fight Roman Reigns right now, and Braun's like, well, go. And Sheamus is like, if you were going to be our partner, you wouldn't be scared of Roman Reigns. We'll get back to that later. This was great.
It was.
So David S. Pumpkins is going to fight one of his cronies at WWE TLC.
Man.
Any questions?
Oh, God. It's just so bad. Why? Why would they do this? Like the whole thing, they had Finn come in and get in the damn Halloween-y makeup just to do that pre-tape close-up thing. And like the production is so bad of like the transition from his regular face to the Halloween-y makeup. Like, do they think anyone, like even 4-year-olds, are fooled by that? Like, it's bad. Why don't do it? Don't do it. It's bad. Don't do it. And the worst part is a little placard that says this Sunday at TLC, the Demon versus Sister Abigail, and they have the picture of the Halloween-y makeup and then Bray with the eye black around his eyes and the veil over him. And like,
if I'm Cyclope from WCW, I'm like, give me my royalties. Bro's still on my gimmick. This is dumb. It was bad. On the right side, Bayley's been getting some nice reactions the last few weeks. She got a good one for being Mickie James's partner. We get a good amount of your standard, doesn't mean anything women's tag match, complete with a breakdown spot that leads to a commercial. The real highlight of this, I think, Emma, like, to me, there you could list virtually everybody else below Emma, and Emma like a mile ahead as it pertains to tag team wrestling with the women. She's so good at it. She's so good at it. Like, there was a spot where she dragged Bayley outside the ring and just booted her into the barricade. Really good stuff out of Emma there. We get a sad-looking Thez press from Mickie James. Mick Kick gets the win. This was just there. Backstage, though, this is the highlight. Charlie Caruso tiptoes around Mickie James's age like she's Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid trying to complete a mission. And Mickey's like, oh, my age? Well, I'm going to beat that biscuit butt. Tamina is older than Mickie James. That's the only note I have there. I thought that was funny. The match was okay. Whatever. Mickie got a win. Emma didn't lose, so you kind of get those couple of things going there.
Yeah, I was certain Bayley was going to take the pin until I remembered that it's in Michael Cole's contract that every go-home before a Raw pay-per-view, he has to say, blank has just pinned the blank champion. Every single time. Yeah, we get it. It's a non-title match, and it's a non-title match, and it's a tag match, so it means nothing. But thanks for pointing that out to us. This is all fine, well and good, but yeah, it's ridiculous that they keep harping on the age thing. Mickey's not Mae Young. You know what I mean? Like it's a.
That's part of why it's so ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Right.
It's part of the thing. So, wow, I haven't been having us make our predictions as we go along, so I'll do that right after.
Yeah.
Backstage, Axel showed up upside down before the match. Before this, he was seen creeping on the Shield backstage. Now, I hope next week the quote-unquote surveillance footage is released.
Yes.
Before this, he was like, he went off backstage. He's like, this pay-per-view is going to be in my hometown. I need this. I want this. All these guys were so good. The Miz was exceptional in discovering him. And even better in saying he was never the fifth man.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's so good. He was so great when he was told by Braun Strowman where Axel was. And he just like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This guy, he's great. They're all great. All of them were 100% fantastic. I did think it was funny that, like, Axel's like, doesn't find Roman alone. He finds Roman with Dean and Seth and is like, yeah, I can take him. Because of course he's champion. Yeah, exactly. Michael McGillicuddy going back to his old days of just taking people out. Yeah, I also loved that they didn't beat him down. They hung him up by his ankles because like they're like the bullies that they are. It's great.
Well, Total Divas Eps on Twitter posted that thing where they're like Budnick and Donkey Lips. All right. Oh my God, that was phenomenal. Steel cage match. Miz is on commentary. Braun Strowman hits a nice delayed spine buster. I love that he's still adding to his arsenal. The Shield, the Bar, both interfere despite being banned from ringside. Strowman drags Reigns back in the ring by his vest to hit one of the ugliest but coolest looking superplexes ever. Like, even his ugly offense kind of like, because he does it with such conviction, looks pretty good. A big brawl involving all those not in the match spills into the backstage area, and Miz locks them all out. But that facial expression as he does it, if they do a live action Grinch, you don't even have to paint him up. Just sit him on top of that mountain.
Yep. Yeah, he's the greatest. He's so good. I loved the match. Do you know why I love the match so much, Sean? Because the door wasn't a part of the match.
Yeah, I like that too.
When they locked the door, it's like, oh my God, they locked the door. Yeah, the door shouldn't be there. The only way to get out of the cage should be to climb over it.
Let's be fair. The people who were wrestling in these in the 80s were like King Kong Bundy.
That's true.
Like a lot of these were for Hulk Hogan.
Well, my thing is the steel cage match should be a regular match, except it's just pin or submission inside the cage. Like I don't like the escape thing because anybody who says, "Oh well, I'm going to leave now," instead of pinning you, to me, it doesn't make them look good either way, heel or face. So I always wanted to be a submission or pin in the middle of the ring, but the door is unforgivable. So when you're climbing out of the cage, there's a lot of cool spots you can do going back into the ring, which they did with the aforementioned superplex. But this was a lot of fun. Great near falls. I love the spot that Braun and Roman do, where it's a back press on the cover, and when Strowman kicks out, he just shoves Reigns up so he's standing. That'll never get old. I love when they do that kind of stuff. These guys were great together. They've been great together for like almost a year. Like this rivalry, I hope it continues.
I don't know how it doesn't win Feud of the Year across the board for every single thing. Like, it's been incredible. The only thing possibly is maybe like as I think about it, maybe Okada Omega, and they've been like they've had those great matches, but the feud hasn't lasted the whole year. That's such a big contributing factor, and not only that. Weekly TV.
Yeah. Certainly in WWE, there's no argument. And I don't know. For me, I think like third or fourth on the list would be Strowman Big Show. Like just the matches that those guys have had together have been great.
I like the push up into the Superman punch that Reigns and Strowman do. That's always really cool. Kane returns and comes through the ring, which as we mentioned off the air, I mean, at least there's a reason. Roman Reigns did retire his brother. Yeah. And it was last week on the list in your boy, I believe, that I asked Jimmy Van, who main events a show at age 50 first? Will it be Chris Jericho in a few years, or will it be Kane this year? I think he said Jericho. Sorry, Jimmy. It's going to be Kane because Strowman gets the win after Kane kicks Reigns' ass real proper.
Yeah. In Jimmy's defense, nobody saw this coming.
No, I sure as hell didn't.
Everyone, myself included, was saying Samoa Joe. He's got to be healthy, and what a cool thing it would be like Joe to come back from injury and wreck dudes, because everyone wants Joe to be feuding with the Shield. Like, I think everyone's major thing is Joe and Authors of Pain versus the Shield in a best of however many you want to do series. Let's just do that. And this could start that. But hey, it's Kane. Kane's back. That's fun. I mean, we haven't seen him since November or December of 2016.
Last year,
he
missed WrestleMania.
Yeah. He is out there humping for every vote he could possibly get. Stumping, I believe, is the actual word. I don't know why I said humping.
Yeah, glad you.
Stumping. He's on the stumping trail. But yes, he actually
shirt right there, humping for votes.
Old Kane. He's been doing events with current and past wrestlers, including one he did, which was the Yes 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 Festival with Daniel Bryan, which I thought was fun. Getting Team Hell No back together. But I guess he's got a break from campaigning and is ready to come back and do at least a one-off. But it really looked cool with him and Strowman in the ring together. Like you don't realize how big Strowman is really, and you're like, oh, remember that guy that was a giant that was everyone knew was a giant even 20 years ago when the sport was filled with giants? He looks the same size as Braun Strowman. Yeah, it's cool to have Kane back because he was a major deal for a long time. And it's been weird not having him around for a year.
20-year anniversary of his Kane debut this month.
Yeah.
Which I would hope that they bring up on the pre-show, and what a career that guy has had. He's the type of guy that if he does come back for a little run and he's going to be gone, he's retiring for good, he's going to have somebody write him off.
Yeah.
Like that's how he is. Just amazing what he's been able to do and how reliable he's been. And actually, I listened to the Bruce Pritchard podcast, the Bad Blood 97 one. And I think he named one of his kids after Kane. He was so proud of that creation and the longevity of it. And he keeps one of the Kane masks and stuff. So that says something. A guy who was around so long is so proud of a certain character. And he should be, because longevity to that degree is remarkable. And there have been times when he's grown stale, and there have been times where he just didn't fit in. And then there were times that they plugged him right back in, and it's made for some pretty good stuff. But shout out to that guy for being able to not just be as effective as he's been for 20 years, but to overcome some real duty gimmicks before that.
Yeah.
Fake Diesel, duty. The Evil Dentist, duty. How about that time he played? How about the time he played a goddamn Christmas tree? He wrestled as a Christmas tree, y'all, with garland and ornaments.
Yep.
Impressive. That guy. So that's your match for TLC. I'm going with the Shield winning this match. It's the Shield versus the Bar, Miz, Braun Strowman, and Kane. I would imagine that's the way you're leaning too.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely going to be the Shield. They haven't announced it yet. I'm assuming it's just a regular one fall to a victory match, but I would love it if it was elimination because that could be a lot of fun. Because, Miz gets eliminated in the first 2 minutes, and then you could actually, get it down to basically being a 3-on-3 thing and have that be the major part of the match would be fun. But
the way I go after this, I have Braun Strowman livid at Kane and work a match with him and write him off like he did Big Show, and it's like he's writing off. And then in about a month, maybe I have him do the same thing to Mark Henry, just like every Attitude Era monster that they still have. Just Braun is the guy that kills them off.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's absolutely the way I would go too.
Because you got to do something with him until the Rumble. What are you going to do with him if he's not wrestling for the title?
Listen, here's the thing. Until they included him in this match, there was nothing for him to do. What's he going to do? Step on people? He's so good. If you don't have him at the top of the card, you have to give me a reason why. And having him decide, I'm taking out everybody, starting with the big guys, until I get to where I want to be. That's something you can sell that to me. Absolutely.
Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. I don't think there's a chance Mickie James wins this.
No, not a chance in hell.
Unless they have Alexa win it the next night on Raw and they have her beat her again. That's really the only way.
No, don't do that. No, Alexa wins. This match, I'm assuming, will be after the Asuka match. Asuka will have destroyed Emma in that match. And when Alexa wins, Asuka will come out on the stage and basically non-verbally challenge Alexa Bliss for the title.
You have Asuka versus Emma. As you said, Asuka winning. I have her winning as well. Kalisto and Enzo. I think the title goes back to Enzo. I'm a little bummed. I fell for the old Instagram filter where the title looked black because, man, the title looked pretty badass with a black strap, Alex.
Yeah. Even a much darker purple would look cool. It's just so vibrant. It looks like it's grape. It's grape flavored. They had that thing for a while where all of their belts were flavored like fruit by the foot. It was cherry first, and then blue raspberry, and then grape.
I get the feeling after the reaction to that today, the next time they need to get a strap made for it, it'll be black. That's just my gut feeling. But who do you have in this match?
Yeah, I agree. It's going to go back to Enzo. It seems kind of pointless to do this whole thing with Kalisto to put it on him and to take him off again. I hope it goes to Enzo if they're going to then put the strap on Mustafa Ali because that kid deserves it. But then I don't know where Kalisto goes because you have one solid, great heel in Enzo and a whole bunch of baby faces who are lining up. You know what I mean?
That's a situation they've been in all year, though, with Neville.
Right, exactly. So there's just a whole, like, once you get it on a baby face, there's only one guy they can pass it on to because none of the other heels have stepped up. Maybe here's the thing. Maybe you can figure out a way of building up crazy Jack Gallagher who wrestles in a damn vest and a tie into being the heel who can take it from somebody, but I don't see anybody else doing it.
Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick, the Brian Kendrick against Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann. I get the feeling Alexander and Swann win this.
Yeah, probably. This would be a really good way of just getting a quick win for baby faces because I feel like there's a lot of heel stuff.
The Demon versus Sister Abigail.
The Demon, the
never lost.
The Great Pumpkin. I guess he'll win. Oh God, it's so bad, Sean. Why is it happening?
I mean, I've not made it any secret. I've never been blown away by Finn Balor in WWE.
But this isn't doing him any favors. This kind of crap. I mean, there's like the guy was your first Universal Champion, and now you've put the belt on a guy that he can't realistically challenge for the belt. You know what I mean? Like if Brock Lesnar beats Braun Strowman with one F5, what the hell is Finn Balor going to do to him? Front drop kick him to death?
Hey, you're preaching to the choir, my friend.
So they've written themselves into a corner that they have nothing else for Finn Balor to do. They absolutely should have Finn take the belt from The Miz, the Intercontinental title, because he could be really great with that belt. They give him something to do besides, messing around with horribly written Bray Wyatt for months. It's just not a good scene.
Alicia Fox, Sasha Banks. I think Sasha takes this.
Yeah, Sasha will take it, and then Alicia will flip out afterwards again. That'll be great.
No Brock Lesnar on the show, but hot rumor on the streets is that he will be facing Jinder Mahal. You hate everything, Alex. Why would you hate this?
Come on. This is bad, man.
You hate everything. But Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar, non-title match at Survivor Series. Rumored.
Well, Jinder Mahal, they said tonight that tomorrow night on SmackDown will be making a major challenge for his next opponent at Survivor Series. So probably Brock, which, like, here's the thing. The match itself is going to be crap. I'm going to hate it. But
it'll be a terrible match.
Will give us the opportunity to see how far Brock Lesnar can German suplex a Singh brother.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, for distance, I'm thinking he can get it from the ring halfway up the ramp. So let's see what happens. Because that could be a lot of fun. But the match itself will be duty.
Yeah, it's going to be real bad. real bad. So plenty of Bullet Club related stuff this weekend. Of course, they had all these Global Wars shows. Results up at Fightful.com. Cody Rhodes cut a promo after his match where he said that he is the biggest damn draw in wrestling. And it is the most financially successful tour Ring of Honor has ever done. It doesn't necessarily make him the biggest damn draw in wrestling, but Roman Reigns responded to an article sent to him and said, I don't even need to click the link and watch. If that house didn't draw over 100K, he's just talking silly. Cody Rhodes replied in a promo at Global Wars saying, I guess that tactical vest isn't just to cover up his drug test, it's to cover up his envy. I made the mistake of tweeting that quote out because then dozens of people like educated me on Roman Reigns' accolades like I said it or something.
Right.
And had they dislodged the fishing hook that Cody Rhodes placed in their cheek long enough, they'd realize, I'm aware of what Roman's done. But
Cody Rhodes with the Bullet Club is one of the greatest heels in professional wrestling anywhere in the world right now. Of course he's going to come out there and say all that stuff. And listen, Ring of Honor is doing great with their tour. Yes. But they also somebody tweeted this thing of a picture of the crowd at Raw tonight with the advertised main event being a steel cage match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, and there's just giant empty swaths of crowd. So
well, if Ring of Honor tried to run an arena that size, it'd be
sure,
pretty bummy too.
But I mean, it's just a weird thing of like, you draw. Yes, Roman Reigns, you yourself, just you're the one that drew the 100,000 people to WrestleMania 32 or whatever it was. Like, it's just a weird thing for them to get back and forth about.
Cody Rhodes working a lot of people.
Yeah.
He learned from one of the great workers, two of the great workers in the universe. And I mean, you can dislike Cody Rhodes all you want for his in-ring or whatever. The dude's making a lot of money. He's very over. He is drawing. No, he ain't the best draw in the world, but he's doing very, very, very well, exceptionally well in a time where there are more possibilities. There are more avenues to do exceptionally well. But, Roman said some odd stuff. Like, he's taken some shots at Bullet Club and stuff, but I think he knows that he's kind of given the rub a little bit. Like, he's not a dummy or anything. No. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. I just don't think he cares that much, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's all fine, all well and good. That's fine. The thing that does the whole thing amuses me the most is all of this. The people who are leaving WWE and will be soon, of the overtures made by the Young Bucks, among others, to get them to come to New Japan. They wanted Daniel Bryan to take a selfie with them so that he could get fired and that he could go to New Japan. I thought that was funny. And they're very subtly, like Marty Scurll saying, "Hey, Neville, I need a new tag partner for the junior division." Like that.
I mean, Cody Rhodes is and Bullet Club are getting a guy with 2.64 million followers to tweet about them like weekly now.
Yeah.
WERKT.
Yeah.
Quirked.
Yep.
Not Reigns. He knows what's up.
Right.
He might just be throwing him a bone for all I know.
Mm-hmm.
But lots of people getting quirked. Neville, contrary to what has been reported, he was at Raw Monday last week and did leave and was not happy about it. Some of it's about royalty. Some of it's about direction after like what's coming up, but he's been very quiet. WWE does not want to let him go. I can confirm that. They really want to keep him.
Well, why wouldn't you? He's been their low key, one of the second or third most valuable guy on the roster for the past year, doing what he's been doing. He's completely reinvented himself. He's been brilliant at what he does. And if they ever took the chains off him and let him actually wrestle heavyweights, is a dude who I would absolutely buy as being the heavyweight champion of the world. He's that good.
He's great. He's awesome. Yeah, like I said, WWE doesn't want to let him go. They did let Jimmy Jacobs go, though, after he posted a selfie with Bullet Club, and they played off of that at the Sunday Global Wars show.
Right.
Clever of him to release that shirt. They're going to sell 1 million of them.
I think
the Bullet Club finds a way to turn these negatives into giant positives.
Yeah.
And they've gotten a situation where their web series is integrated into ROH storylines. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And now I got all these, the quote I keep seeing in the chat is Cody is cringy now. You can think Cody's cringy now. He's making more money right now than he ever has before. Period.
Well, there's that Austin Aries tweet where he's talking about how he's making more money in the bingo halls now per date than he was under contract to the WWE. I think it is funny that both Aries and Neville, who had that really great pre-show match at WrestleMania, which was not included in any of the DVD sales, in the DVD copies, except for in the UK, I guess, and so they don't get any royalties on that stuff. They're both gone now. And both those guys were excellent at what they did for several months together. And, you know, I guess, you know, it's one of those things of there's the people who believe that great wrestling isn't really what wrestling's about. And those people who were like, well, fine, they can go. But I mean, to me, like, it's not all that it's about, but to me, it's a pretty big portion. And those guys turned in like excellent matches every time they were in the ring together. And I've missed Aries since he's been gone. And if we don't get Neville anymore in the WWE, I will really, really miss that guy.
I will too.
I grew to love him.
Fortunately, I mean, the landscape of wrestling is getting really, really, really interesting. And I thought it was headed that way a couple years ago when TNA was switching. They were on a network that seemed like it was embracing them in Destination America. Then Dixie Carter went and called the head a dummy and a thing. And then Destination America had brought in Ring of Honor. So there was that as well. You had New Japan that got the Access deal. So you knew that Access wanted to do stuff. Lucha Underground was emerging. Jeff Jarrett was starting Global Force Wrestling, and we didn't know what wouldn't become of that.
Right.
And like within 6 months after the landscape looked so good, none of it looked really good after that. Destination America let their deal with ROH lapse. Fortunately, ROH is doing just fine because they got Sinclair behind them.
Yeah.
Impact has never recovered from that to the degree in which they once were. I mean, they can't do 500,000 now. That's unfortunate. The only one that, well, you could say Ring of Honor is doing better now because they've got their shows on the internet every damn week anyway. Anybody can watch that. New Japan's doing better because they've got Access just foaming at the mouth, like, give us more stuff, give us more stuff. I think we're headed back to an interesting little area here because there's so many streaming services and they're all this, but I mean, nothing will ever be as powerful as TV.
Yep.
TV, where you can just flip on the channel, you can set a DVR and watch it. But I guess we'll see. Guys, of course, we do have WWE TLC coverage this weekend, as well as Bellator and UFC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, Saturday podcast, a Sunday podcast. Tomorrow, I get live with you all with Showdown Joe, 3 p.m. Eastern. Holy Smokes MMA podcast. Check that out. Post SmackDown with Jeff and Anna. Then Wednesday, it's The List and your boy, our flagship show. Thursday, that MMA podcast with James Lynch. And we have exclusives every single day at Fightful.com. You come to Fightful.com any given day, you will see something that you will only get at Fightful.com. And that's what I love. We're bringing on all these names. This week, we've had exclusives across all three. You had Carlos Toro at the Barclays Center where people were throwing chairs and shit. It was insane. A fun time was had by all. Head over to those forums. Talk to me. I really want to communicate with our viewership. Suggest some shirt ideas. We're looking into that as well. But Fightful.com is the place to be. At Fightful Online, cross-platform. Alex, where can they follow you?
At Pawlowski the Fourth.
Follow me at Sean Ross Sapp. Until next time, guys, leave us a thumbs up. Subscribe to us. Every 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm going to give something away. Until next time, guys, we're out.